What's going on, everyone? We're back with a brand new video. And the image that you see on the screen, once you hear the audio that I'm about to play, you will understand why Kendrick Perkins has his head in his hand. So let me set this up really quick so you can get to the featured presentation, so to speak. So there was a panel, I guess, on one of these ESPN shows. I don't know which one because I don't keep up with. But at any rate, I know it was, I'm not even sure of the host name, but it was Chiney Gumike, Ramona Shelburne, and Kendrick Perkins. And they were talking about the subject of Bronny James and what he was doing at the combine and all these sorts of things. And so some of the ridiculousness that Agumike and Shelburne were saying had Kendrick Perkins, mind you, looking like the voice of reason. So without any further ado, I'm going to allow you to hear this audio and prepare to be utterly gobsmacked at some of the foolishness you're about to hear. Here it is.
We have to stop. We have to stop. As the media and everybody else shining the light on Bronny, because it's other players that are deserve our attention, right? The lottery guys, the guys that are actually that are going to get drafted in the first round. Like, we're talking about a guy, a young man that's possibly going to go late second round or not getting drafted at all. I've never, in my 4 years of working here, I've never sat on the table where we're talking about a second round pick.
But this is LeBron James' son, and that is a legitimate storyline that one of the greatest of all times has a son trying to play in the NBA at the same time.
And you have to give Bronny credit for actually trying to say the right things and showing up in the right places. And at the end of the day,
and by the way, I like seeing LeBron in the stands as a proud dad. I like that. That's a great example of fatherhood.
He's the #1 scorer in NBA.
What does that have to do with his son being at the draft
Scottie Pippen's kid was playing on the Lakers.
But we didn't shine the light on Scottie Pippen's son like this. We can't move the goalposts and feel like we go do it when it's convenient for us.
When we say Nepo baby, that means that you have the same career, parents to child. And so for those
somebody's a Hollywood producer, their son or daughter gets a job.
But if he has the same dreams and he does get a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. But can we talk about this, y'all? This is a guy who's given his life to the game, LeBron James. And if the byproduct is that Bronny gets a little bit of a nod, maybe there is though. Maybe that's okay.
Because right now LeBron is still at the peak of his game where he has the leverage to maybe get the Lakers to draft his son.
And guess what? Maybe the team.
Do you want it that way?
I wouldn't. However, if it's got to be done, that's the only way. That's the only way.
Look, I want Bronny to be successful.
I think all of us do.
But I'm also being a realist here. Like, look, let me say this.
And there you have it. And it's again, like I alluded to earlier, I never thought I'd see the day within a time frame of a week. I would make a video where I would agree with Jason Whitlock and now Kendrick Perkins. But honestly, Perk is right. I mean, what he said was rational, reasonable. It made sense. But those are things that typically, when it comes to a narrative that they want to push over at BSPN, those things go flying right out of the window. So to listen to what Shelburne and Chiney was saying it's just utter ridiculousness. We're sitting here talking about basketball and what this young man can do on the basketball court, and they're sitting up here talking about, I loved how he was, saying the right things and was at the right places and all this crap that doesn't mean anything. Because I'm sure when they interview him, they're saying, they're not looking at his ability to maybe come off screens or shoot off the dribble or catch and shoot or how well he can switch. They're saying, hey, he was talking in the right place at the right time. But not to be outdone, here comes Ramona Shelburne talking about, I love it how LeBron is an involved dad and he's there. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? That has literally nothing to do with the matter at hand. But then it gets even worse because because she then says, well, if it's nepotism and it's got to be someone, there it is, And then she says, I wouldn't want it, but So she's basically confirming, and she's certainly not denying, that the reason why he's getting this spot, while it may be undeserved, is just merely because of his bloodline. That potentially this spot could be given to someone who's potentially more deserving or more skilled, or whatever the case may be. And Kendrick Perkins he was just in utter shock, as was I, listening to this foolishness. And here's the thing. I want to say this before I go any further, and I talked about this on the last video. This is not a criticism of LeBron James Jr. Like I said on the last video, one, I'm being very careful in the words I choose because I don't want to tear this young brother down, because at the end of the day, he's really not done anything wrong. I certainly don't think that he has the machinations or the network in place to push his own agenda. I can't say the same for his father, but at the end of the day, and again, like I said in the last video, whatever he does, whether it be basketball or whatever, I want to see this young brother win. That's all I want to see is just that brother go on and be successful in whatever field he chooses. But when you have this discussion here where we're taking basketball, which is what the issue is supposed to be, we're just casting that to the side and trying to justify or elevate him based on things that have nothing to do with what we should be looking at on a basketball court. Okay, there's 44, I think, guys at this combine, okay? And one, granted, I know none of them are the son of LeBron James, and this is what Perk was kind of alluding to, but we're not talking about their fathers being there, which in of itself, I don't know if I've ever seen, but we're not talking about how well they answer questions and the poise and all of these sorts of things. With some of those other, you're talking about what they can do on the court, what we are seeing, and how that can translate to what an NBA teams might be looking for. But somehow, that doesn't matter when it comes to this one particular young man. And that's what Kendrick Perkins was also trying to say, because this is not like he's not the first son of an NBA player or even an NBA great to try to apply his craft at the same trade of his father. And he was talking about, we're not talking about Scottie Pippen Jr. like this, who is actually on an NBA roster and contributing. We're not talking about Shaquille O'Neal's son, and I think I talked about this as well. And there's other guys whose sons are not, or let me not forget about Zaire Wade, not forget about him. But we're not even talking about some of the younger sons of NBA players. Be it Carmelo Anthony's son, Gilbert Arenas' son. Them dudes, they got it. And heck, to be perfectly honest, and I have said it before, that quite honestly, I think Bryce is the one. I mean, they're talking about Bronny, because I know that's who LeBron has talked about playing with. But if you have seen footage on that young man, he's got it. I mean, and the thing about, like I said on a previous video, like I said, Bronny is solid. I could see him in a couple of years definitely being able to contribute to winning basketball at an NBA level. I see certain things when you watch him play. I definitely think he could be a net positive to a lot of ball clubs, but just not yet. He's just not ready. While solid, he doesn't pop off the screen at you, so to speak. But Bryce, he does. He has definitely got it, and that's the one that we should be taking notice of. But like I said, I don't want to, belabor this point too much. But I was just shocked, disappointed, sickened and especially for Shanae, somebody, I really highly respect and have appreciated and enjoyed a lot of her work, but she was off base on this one. And well, Ramona Shelburne, this doesn't really surprise me, but it was just to see them just willfully, unabashedly just jumping out of the hoops and making it not about basketball when the point is that we're talking about basketball and what you can do on the basketball court. So with that being said, it's just crazy when Kendrick Perkins is the voice of reason and is the adult in the room when it relates to a LeBron James topic or a LeBron James adjacent topic. But with that being said, what do you think about this particular segment, about what Kendrick Perkins had to say, about what Shanae Gumake and Ramona Shelburne were trying to push? Let us know. Let's have a conversation about it. But as I often like to say, thank you for spending a few moments with us. And as always, tell the ones that you love them. Peace.